Before we dive into this ancient text, let's look at the very modern problem through the lens of psychiatry and neuroscience. In modern medicine, when we look at the functional brain imaging of the patient suffering from chronic stress, severe anxiety, or clinical depression, we consistently see hyperactivity in the specific circuit called the default mode network or the DMN. The DMN is the brain's autopilot software. It is the network that fires up when you aren't focused on the present moment. It's responsible for the non-stop renunciation, overthinking, past regrets, and future anxieties. The psychiatric term, when the DMN runs completely unchecked, it can lead to the deep emotional dysregulation. Patient feels like prisoner to their own automated thoughts. And this brings us a massive clinical challenge. How do we quit this network? Cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT teaches us to challenge these automated thoughts, while mindfulness teaches us to observe them without judgment. But thousands of years before the modern psychiatry mapped out the default mode network, ancient Indian psychology asked the same questions. How do we step out this autopilot? That is exactly what we are going to solve today, using the first chapter of Kena Upanishad. Let's look at the ancient cure for the very modern cognitive crisis. Let's dive in. Have you ever tried to sit quietly for just 5 minutes, only for the brain to immediately drag into an argument you had 3 years ago? Or have you ever known with the absolute certainty that a specific habit or a thought pattern was bad for you, yet your mind walked straight into it anyway? If you don't want to think about anxiety, stress, or negativity, why does your mind do it? Most of us live under a assumption that we are our minds. But if you are your mind, why can't you control it? Thousands of years ago, a student sat down with a spiritual master in ancient India and asked this exact question. Their dialogue is recorded in a text called the Kena Upanishad, with the word Kena literally translating to by whom. The disciple asked, by whose will directed does the mind proceed to its object? At whose command does our life force operate? Who is the hidden force directing our eyes and ears? The text explicitly point out something we rarely admit. The mind is not its own master. If it were completely free, an intelligent person would never choose to contemplate ruinous or evil thoughts. Yet it happens. They thought like evil. Today we are breaking down chapter 1 of this ancient text to discover a profound psychological shift, uncovering the mind behind your mind, to break free from the automated living. The master replied to the student sounds like a riddle at first, but it is actually a master class of human consciousness. He says it is the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, the speech of the speech, the life of the life, and the eye of an eye. What does this mean in practical everyday life? Think of the red hot iron rod. If you touch the rod, it burns you. But ask yourself, does the iron itself possess the quality of burning? No. The iron is just cold metal. It only burns because it has been completely perverted by fire. The Upanishad is telling us that your physical eye is just biological hardware. Your mind is just software processing the data by themselves. The body and the senses are inert, material, and changing. They are only alive and intelligent because they are being admitted by the deeper underlying fire, the Atman, or the pure consciousness. To formalize this ancient psychology into the modern mental model, we can look at the human experience through this simple equation. E is equal to I into A. That is, human experience material is equal to material instruments, body or mind, into the pure awareness or Atman. Without the underlying awareness, the instrument have a zero value. The false notion that our eyes or our intellect possess independent intelligence is dropped right here. You are not the camera, you are the light flowing through the lens. The test then drops a massive truth bomb that completely flips how we view the fulfillment and the modern spirituality. The eye does not go thither, nor the speech, nor the mind. We do not know it. We do not understand how anyone can teach it. It is different from the known. It is above the unknown. Here is the why so many of us feel stuck, anxious, or perpetually unfulfilled. We are trying to find ourselves by looking in the wrong directions. We try to feel our identity through the external things, our job titles, social media metrics, bank accounts, or what other people think of us. But the Upanishad says fire cannot burn itself, light cannot illuminate itself, because you are the ultimate subject, the one who is doing the experiencing. You can never find your true, unchanging self in the things that are experienced. So, the text explicitly states that which cannot be expressed by speech, but by which the speech is expressed, that alone known as the Brahman, and not that which people here worship. This is direct correction of the huge misconception. True growth and spirituality aren't about bargaining about the external deity out there in the sky to grant your wishes. It is about recognizes the divine unchanging observer inside you right now. So how we actually apply this when opening your laptop tomorrow morning, dealing with academic pressure or handling a stressful personal situation? The text provides us the blueprint. Having detached the self from the sense organs and renounced the world, the wise attains to immortality. Now, renouncing the world doesn't mean quitting your life and to move into a cave. In practical psychology, it means building your observer muscle. It means practicing a simple shift from the being the emotion to the watching the emotion. Let's first talk about the automated way. You receive a stressful piece of news, your mind immediately fires off anxious thoughts. You blindly identify with it and say, I am stressed, I am ruined. Second way, the Upanishadic way. You receive the news, you pause and realize, my mind is currently experiencing a wave of anxiety, but I am one observing the wave. I am the mind of the mind. The text notes that physical bodies carry out their actions based on past momentum and karma, but the inner self remains untouched. The moment you create that microsecond of distance between the core self and your thoughts, you reclaim your power. You are no longer a slave of automated mental conditioning. So, here the conclusion. This deep psychological freedom is exactly why the Kena Upanishad frames this knowledge within a beautiful in, invocation for peace and mutual respect. May what we study reveal the truth. May we cherish no ill feelings towards each other. When you realize the same light of consciousness animating your mind is the same light animating the person sitting across from you, your interaction changes. You stop reacting defensively to the world and you start witnessing it with clarity. Next time, when your mind tries to drag you the chaos, take a deep breath, detach from the instruments. Remember, you are not the thoughts passing through thoughts. You are the silent, luminous space in which those thoughts exist. So here we conclude this video. Om peace, peace.